Who was the richest person ever to live? Forget Bezos, Musk, or Rockefeller. The answer takes us back to the 14th century, to the heart of a powerful African empire. His name was Mansa Musa, and his wealth was so vast, it literally broke the economies of entire countries. Get ready, because today we're diving into the incredible, true story of the Golden King of Mali. In the early 1300s, while Europe was still navigating the Middle Ages, the Empire of Mali in West Africa was a thriving global powerhouse. It spanned across what are now at least 7 modern-day countries, a colossal territory founded by the legendary Sundiata Keita. But it was under his successor, Mansa Musa, who took the throne in 1312, that Mali would experience its ultimate golden age. Musa wasn't just another king. He was a visionary. He inherited the throne after the previous ruler, Abu Bakr II, boldly sailed off to explore the limits of the Atlantic Ocean and never returned. Mansa Musa didn't just want to rule. He wanted to build Mali into a world-renowned center of culture, faith, and immense wealth. So, where did all this legendary wealth come from? It's simple. Gold. Lots and lots of gold. The Mali Empire was strategically built on top of some of the richest gold mines the world had ever seen. At that time, more than half of the world's entire gold supply came from West Africa, and Mansa Musa controlled the most significant sources like the mines of Bambouk and Bior. But gold wasn't his only asset. He also controlled the region's incredibly profitable salt mines. Back then, salt was just as precious as gold, used for preserving food and as a vital commodity. Imagine controlling the world's oil and all its data. Today that was the level of economic power Musa wielded. On top of Tisa's empire sat at the crossroads of major trans-Saharan trade routes. Every caravan carrying gold, ivory, spices, and other precious goods had to pass through his territory, and he collected taxes from every single transaction. This created a constant, massive flow of revenue directly into his treasury. Historians have tried to calculate his fortune in today's money, and the estimates are staggering, landing somewhere between $400 and $600 billion. To put that in perspective, he was wealthier than any person alive today, and it wasn't even close. For all his wealth, Mansa Musa was a devout Muslim. In 1324, he decided to undertake the Hajj, the sacred pilgrimage, to Mecca. But this wasn't just any journey. It was arguably the most extravagant procession in human history. It was a spectacle designed to announce Mali's arrival on the world stage. Imagine a caravan stretching as far as the eye could see. It included 60,000 men soldiers, officials, and attendants all dressed in the finest silks. Accompanying them were 12,000 servants, and each one of them carried a solid gold bar. But that's not all. A train of 80 camels followed, with each camel laden with up to 300 pounds of pure gold dust. This was a moving city of gold, a testament to his unimaginable power. As this incredible procession made its way across the Sahara, its most famous stop was in Cairo, Egypt. Here, Mansa Musa's generosity became the stuff of legend. He gave away gold to everyone he met, from the poorest people on the streets to the city's officials. He spent so lavishly, handing out gold as if it were common sand, that this single-handedly flooded the market. The value of gold in Cairo plummeted and stayed down for over a decade, causing an economic crisis across North Africa and the Middle East. News of this African king who could disrupt economies with his charity spread like wildfire. For the first time, Europe and the Middle East became acutely aware of the immense wealth of this kingdom in West Africa. Soon after, European mapmakers began drawing Mansa Musa on their maps, like the famous 1375 Catalan atlas, which depicts him on a throne, holding a golden nugget and wearing a golden crown. He had put Mali and Africa on the map. When Mansa Musa returned from his legendary pilgrimage, he didn't just come back with stories. He brought back the brightest minds he could find. Leading scholars, talented architects, poets, and teachers from across the Islamic world. His goal was to transform his capital into a new center of global learning and culture. He immediately commissioned the construction of magnificent mosques and schools. His most famous project was the Great Mosque of Djingueber in Timbuktu, an architectural marvel designed by the Andalusian architect Abu Ishaq al-Sahili, which still stands today. He also founded the University of Sankar, which grew into one of the most important centers of learning in the medieval world, housing hundreds of thousands of manuscripts on science, law, and philosophy. Under Musa's patronage, Timbuktu became a beacon of scholarship and trade, earning nicknames like the City of Gold and the African Athens. Students and scholars flocked there from all corners of Africa and the Middle East, eager to be part of this vibrant intellectual renaissance. Mansa Musa ruled for about 25 years, from 1312 to 1337. His reign is remembered not just for its staggering wealth, but for its peace, justice, and stability. He was known as a wise and pious ruler who successfully managed a vast and diverse empire. An Arab historian, Al-Umari, who visited Cairo years after Musa's visit, recorded what people said about him. This man spread floods of generosity in all of Cairo. There was no person, officer of the court, or holder of any office of the Sultanate, who did not receive a sum of gold from him. This reputation for justice and generosity was as much a part of his legacy as his gold. Unfortunately, after his death, the empire he built began to face challenges. His successors struggled to maintain control over such a massive territory. Internal conflicts and external invasions gradually weakened the Mali Empire, and it eventually declined. However, the story of its greatest king, Mansa Musa, endured, passed down through generations. So, what is the lasting impact of Mansa Musa's story? First, he is a powerful symbol of Africa's rich and complex history. His empire demonstrates that long before European colonization, Africa was home to sophisticated, wealthy, and influential civilizations that were major players on the world stage. His story shatters the outdated myths of a dark continent waiting to be discovered. Second, his investment in culture and education turned Timbuktu into an intellectual powerhouse, leaving behind a legacy of scholarship that is still studied today. In fact, Timbuktu is now recognized as a UNESCO World Heritage Site, preserving the very buildings and manuscripts that flourished under his rule. Modern institutions, from Harvard to UNESCO, recognize his immense contributions to global history. Mansa Musa's reign represents an African golden age of time, when the continent was a leader in trade, architecture, and learning. His story isn't just about wealth. It's a testament to vision, faith, and the enduring power of a great legacy. Thank you so much for joining me on this incredible journey back in time. If you found this story as fascinating as I did, please hit that like button and subscribe for more amazing stories from history. Let me know in the comments what you think about Mansa Musa's incredible legacy. Until next time, stay curious.